Milo, Sonarlight, Zephyrion. They call me Sonarlight now, though my father always called me Milo. It's a nickname earned, I suppose, from the way the frequencies bend to my will. But here, in this echoing manner, surrounded by the ghosts of melodies past, I haven't woven a single note in weeks. The house, it silences me, it always has. My touch, which could once raise shimmering illusions and weave barriers of pure sound, feels muted like a violin with broken strings. I'm supposed to be the harmonic weaver, the last of the Zephyrion line, but I feel less like a musician and more like a curator of a decaying legacy. This house, Blackwood Manor, isn't just a home. It's a cage built of sound, and it's holding me prisoner. The summons came not as a letter, but as a dissonance, a jarring chord that reverberated through the very foundations of Blackwood. Old man Tiber, the village elder, and a man who normally speaks in the even tones of ancient oaks, sounded afraid. He said the veil was thinning, that the whispers from the other side were growing louder, and that the protective harmonics my family had woven around Oakhaven for centuries were fraying. He needed me to restore them, to retune the town's sonic shield. It was a call to adventure, of course, but also a sentence. To weave the harmonics, I had to enter the house fully, to confront the silence that had stolen my gift, and to face whatever echoes lingered within its walls. Untruthfully, I hadn't dared to attempt it in years. The first attempt was catastrophic. I started in the music room, my father's sanctuary, trying to recreate the foundational chord, the one that anchors the entire harmonic web. But as soon as I drew breath to sing, the room fought back, not with a physical force but with sound. A cacophony of fragmented melodies, whispers of arguments, the ghostly echoes of my mother's laughter, all twisting and distorting my own attempts. The air grew cold and the shadows seemed to coalesce into shapes. Then a voice, my father's but warped and accusing, filled the room. "You are not worthy." The attempt failed and I was thrown back, shaken and bleeding from the ears, the silence of the house pressing down on me with renewed force. It was a clear message. The house didn't want me to heal Oakhaven, it wanted me to remain imprisoned. I realized then that I'd been approaching this all wrong. I'd been trying to force the harmonics, to impose my will upon the house. But Blackwood wasn't a passive vessel. It was a sentient entity, woven from the memories and emotions of generations of Zephyrions. The turning point came when I stopped trying to control the sound and started to listen. I began to wander the house, not as a musician seeking to compose, but as a scholar studying a forgotten language. I traced the flow of sound through the walls, the echoes in the hallways, the resonances in the attics. I realized that the house wasn't blocking me. It was showing me something, a forgotten story, a hidden truth about my family's past. I became an active force, not in creation but in understanding. The deeper I delved, the darker the revelations became. I discovered a hidden chamber beneath the music room, filled with journals and sheet music detailing my great-grandmother's experiments with shadow harmonics frequencies designed to manipulate emotions and control minds. She had been ostracized for her work, deemed dangerous and unethical. But her research hadn't been destroyed. It had been hidden, and the house was subtly reintroducing those same frequencies, twisting my attempts at restoration. A wave of despair washed over me, stronger than before. The house wasn't protecting Oakhaven. It was preparing to weaponize its sound, to exert control over the entire region. It felt as though all my efforts had been for naught, and that I was powerless to stop it. Then I remembered something my mother used to say: "Sound is not just about what you hear, Milo, but what you feel." She wasn't talking about emotion, but about resonance. I realized that the shadow harmonics weren't an external force, but a reflection of a deep-seated sorrow within the house, the collective grief of generations of Zephyrions who had suppressed their emotions in the pursuit of harmonic perfection. The key wasn't to fight the shadow frequencies, but to harmonize with them, to acknowledge the pain and integrate it into a more complete sonic tapestry. I had been searching for a magical artifact or a forgotten spell, but the solution had been within me and within the house, all along. I returned to the music room, not with defiance but with empathy. I began to sing, weaving a melody that acknowledged the sorrow, the regret, and the pain that permeated Blackwood Manor. It wasn't a triumphant chord but a lament, a gentle acceptance of the past. And as I sang, something shifted. The shadows receded, the discordant frequencies softened, and a sense of peace settled over the house. The protective harmonics around Oakhaven resonated with newfound strength, no longer brittle and strained, but vibrant and whole. I am still Sonarlight, the harmonic weaver, but I've learned that true harmony isn't about silencing the darkness, but about embracing it. And Blackwood Manor, it's still a haunted home, but now it's a home at peace.